Act 1. Scene opens with David in the living area. David is on the phone pacing.
Hello? Hello, is this the front desk? Awesome, can I get an update? An update on the situation going on right now. Who am I? I'm the guy asking you for an update on the situation going on right now. I mean, with the storm. Yes, I understand you don't work the Weather Channel, but look, I just want to know how long we're going to be stuck in this hotel for the night because I, out of the kindness of my heart, am sharing a room with a woman I dated for 4 years, and well, things aren't going well. No, I can speak freely because she's down getting food, which, by the way, why is there no room service right now? Yes. Yeah, I understand that there's a storm going on. Did I not ask for an update to the storm like 3 seconds ago? This is a 5-star hotel, right? Well, you're going to lose 1 star from the review I will give you on Yelp for the treatment I have felt from you. You have not been professional and efficient at all. Yes, I understand you're the only hotel open right now, but that doesn't excuse unprofessionalism. Yes, I will do that to myself after I do it to your mother. Overpaid doorknob. Who is it?
It's me.
Who's me?
Your mother. Open the door.
How do I know it's you? You could be a robber using a fake voice to find your way in here and then rob me blind and have your way with me.
Open the door, you ridiculous crouton.
What's the secret password?
Let me in.
No, that's not it.
You want to eat? Let me in.
Is that my only choice?
David.
Why do you not have a key to the room if this is your room, huh? There. I run rings around you logically.
All of a sudden, a click comes to the door as it opens, showing Jessica standing there balancing a box of food and a key card in her hands.
You could have been nicer and let me in.
You could have been nicer and asked nicer.
Jessica hands David the box of food.
You owe me $15.
I only wanted a sandwich.
And a Coke.
Yes.
A sandwich and a Coke.
Yes.
You wanted a sandwich and a Coke.
Yes.
Okay, it costs $15.
No. See, it can't cost $15. You know why?
Why?
Because I only wanted a sandwich and a Coke.
A sandwich and a Coke cost $15.
A sandwich and a Coke for $15. What is this? Fenway Park?
Yes, it is. You know why?
Why?
Because you owe me $15 for your sandwich and Coke.
You're nuts.
I want the $15 for the sandwich and Coke.
Oh, God. But I saved your life.
Oh, please.
No. I saved your life.
You saved my life.
Yes.
You saved shit.
That transformer was going to fall on you, and I grabbed you and pulled you out of the way of it.
You were the one who pulled me out of the way of a transformer that was about to land on me?
Yes.
You did that?
Yes.
You dislocated my shoulder.
Okay.
Oh, no wonder it's been killing me ever since.
I still saved your life.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. And you know why?
No, why?
Because I pulled you out of the way of that transformer.
David, that transformer was 50 to 60 yards away from me. And I know that because I was at the front door of the hotel. And if I had been crushed by that transformer 50 to 60 yards away, I would have still been alive. Since that transformer, which was 50 to 60 yards away, was 50 to 60 yards away. We're not talking the Leaning Tower of Electricity or the Eiffel Tower of Transformers. So no, you didn't save my life, but I thank you for letting me share the hotel room. And in gratitude, I'm going to charge you $14 for the sandwich and Coke. What do you say to that?
Maybe I shouldn't have saved your life.
You didn't save my life.
Yes, I did.
I have 5 eyewitnesses who say no. Want to know how I know that?
Okay, how?
Because there were 5 people standing next to you who, if they thought I was in danger, would have been faster than the 30 seconds you waited to grab me from the falling transformer.
You timed me?
Didn't have to.
You timed me.
I really didn't have to.
Why?
Because I held my breath.
Ah,
Come on, I know you.
you know me.
Yes.
You know shit.
I know you try to figure things out before acting. I know that you pride yourself in protecting me. And I know that you are going to give me the $15 for the sandwich and Coke.
14.
I knew it'd get you.
Ah,
David reaches into his pocket and gives Jessica $14.
gold digger.
Honey, I'm not married to you, and I have a job.
You have a job, but yet you're squeezing me for a lousy 14 bucks.
Squeezing you.
You could have given it to me out of the kindness of your heart.
God, I better not ask you for a glass of water.
I'm sorry.
If I asked you for a glass of water, you would hem and haw, and then I would probably have to give you money for it.
Hey, you have to know what you're worth.
You are nuts. Certifiably nuts.
I'm nuts. You're the one who bought me a sandwich and a Diet Coke for 14 bucks, and now you want a glass of water.
I don't want a glass of water. I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I do want a glass of water.
Well, there's a water shortage.
Just eat your sandwich.
If it cost any more, I'd be sending it off to college and hoping it graduates as summa cum laude.
I don't know how you eat that stuff.
What stuff?
That stuff.
Bread?
No.
Cheese?
No.
Mayonnaise?
No. Meat.
Oh no, not this again.
Do you know how many animals were killed for you to have that sandwich?
You know how many trees you killed for, paper?
Oh, good comeback. You write that one yourself?
I'm not as fast as you when it comes to,
Comebacks?
Don't help me. I would have thought of it.
Does it bother you that you're eating an animal?
Does it bother you that your hair's wet?
No. Does it bother you?
A little bit.
Well, build a bridge and get over it.
Where the hell is this going?
Does it bother you that you are eating animals? Animals who do nothing but frolic.
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 I got news for you. Animals don't frolic. They.
I'll be done with my dinner by the time you think of something.
They eat grass and poop.
So you're an animal.
And some animals eat other animals.
To survive.
Yes, but they forage on themselves. So doesn't that bother you?
No, but does it bother you?
No, it doesn't, because ham tastes delicious. Turkey is amazing, and roast beef is like my crack. And I have no qualms about any of that because I'm an addict and I need my fix.
You're ridiculous.
Well, how can you only eat vegetables?
How?
Yes, how? How do you eat vegetables?
Usually with a fork, but sometimes with my hands.
That's not what I mean.
I eat it knowing I haven't killed anything.
Well, I got news for you. Veggies are things.
Things?
They are living, breathing things.
What are you talking about?
You know what I mean.
I really don't.
Veggies live and breathe and get nutrients from the sun. So in fact, they are living, breathing things. So are you saying that they are lower in the food chain as you know other things?
Do you hear yourself right now?
I go in and out.
Do you want me to starve?
Well, you could lose some weight.
Excuse me?
Oh, who said that?
I could lose some weight?
Did I say that?
Well, what about you?
Well, what about me?
Any more weight and you could be a sumo wrestler, you fat ass.
Well, I'm not feeling the love tonight, Jess.
Oh, you'll feel the love tonight when I knee you in the balls.
Oh, I saved your life.
From a 10-foot transformer 50 to 60 yards away from me?
I saved your life. I told you to stay close to me.
I wanted to see how bad it was raining.
You left me.
What?
I mean, you left my side.
Did you say I left you?
No.
Don't.
What?
Don't.
I just did.
Don't.
I did.
You better not.
Yes, I just did.
We are not going to talk about that at all tonight or ever again.
Oh, we're not.
No. We're going to sit here and eat our murdered meals in silence.
They both sit down and begin to eat their dinners as they both look around awkwardly.
But I was right.
Christ, you couldn't resist.
What?
You couldn't have just left it alone.
You wanted to talk about it.
I did.
You brought it up.
I was kidding.
And yet here we are. We are now going to talk about that.
No, not that. Let's not talk about that.
Oh yes, that.
Let's talk about the carcasses of animals more.
David.
You really want to talk about this?
Yes.
Fine. I never knew how to cook.
Why did you lie?
You have no evidence that I have lied about anything else.
Oh, honey, the things I know.
Oh, but I tried.
How many fires did we have in our kitchen?
It wasn't that bad.
Our landlord forbade you from using the oven.
That is an exaggeration.
You're right. He also forbade you from using the microwave.
Jessica.
I mean, I understand not knowing the correct temperature for baking bread, but how does someone burn Jell-O?
You are loving this, aren't you?
I'm just saying that the $14 sandwich might be your only meal if we lose power.
I could whip us up something in the kitchen.
David, you just saw a transformer collapse and fire outside the hotel. Now, do you really want to see flames inside of this room?
Well, I haven't turned on my charm yet.
Oh, honey, I am immune to your charm.
Really? Oh, I don't know about that.
Please, just eat your dinner and know that I was right and you were wrong.
It wasn't a matter of being right or wrong. It was a matter that I tried and failed, but nevertheless, I tried.
I grant you 1 point. Here is the dollar back. Your sandwich only costs $13. While you're at it, buy a clue.
You know, if I keep this charm up, I'll get my money back.
Honey, don't even try. You aren't as charming as you think you are.
You're right. Some people didn't think so.
Yes, indeed. Wait, what?
What?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Yes, you do, you fool. Were you trying to say something about something?
Well, I tried to charm your friends and I never really got anywhere.
Well, they did think you were hitting on them. And in retrospect, I can see their point.
I was trying to be nice to them since they were your friends. You know, you could have tried with mine.
All your friends wanted to talk about was football.
Okay, and?
I hate football. Now, baseball, I could get into, but the minute we all got together, oh, Smith went way down and caught it on the 45, but he couldn't find his way to Boston. Never mind the end zone for a Hail Mary touchdown.
Well, he is a mite rusty.
None of that makes sense to me.
Well?
And don't explain it to me.
Why?
Because like almost every other woman out there, when a man mansplains something, it's just a turnoff.
Ah, so you were turned on.
Oh my God, spare me.
Why don't you just admit the truth? You never liked my friends, and your friends labeled me a womanizer.
I liked your friends fine. It was Ralph I couldn't stand.
Well, Ralph was fine.
He's an alcoholic.
No, he's not. He just doesn't know when to stop drinking.
Oh, he doesn't know when to stop, huh?
No.
I see. You want to know something?
What?
That's what an alcoholic is.
Well, I wouldn't know, but you have the same experience.
What's that supposed to mean?
I never liked your mother.
What?
I never liked your mother. She was a pain in the ass.
Really?
Yes. Oh, you never knew that?
No.
Well, there it is. That woman would know the definition of an alcoholic. She's never met a wine she didn't like or finish.
You never liked my mother?
Did I say that?
Just now.
I've moved on to other things in my head.
Why didn't you like my mom?
Who? That lovely lady?
David.
Well, I got news for you. It was mutual.
She loved you.
I asked her if I could visit her on one of my company trips. For my birthday, she gave me a map of Texas.
So?
She lives in Alaska.
I can see how that can be confusing.
Jess.
She is a lovely woman and she treated you with respect.
She called me fat ass.
Well, you were a little heavy.
Well, I'm not responsible for what I say about a woman who spent her days sticking bobby pins into a homemade voodoo doll of me.
Now you are just being ridiculous.
Am I?
How do you know this stuff? Do you spy on her?
Jessica, she put it on Facebook.
She did?
She has a page that says, "The schmuck my daughter is settling for."
So what, she put a status change of stabbing a voodoo doll?
Not exactly.
You are overreacting.
You are dramatically underreacting.
She changed her status to stabbing a voodoo doll. I don't believe that.
She put up a picture.
What?
Pictures. She
What?
put up pictures saying, "David, I'm going to get you."
I can't help you there.
You can't help me anywhere. And I wasn't asking for help.
Well, good.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Fine.
David,
What?
why are we yelling?
I don't know. I don't know. We always seem to yell,
Really?
I guess.
No. When we first met,
Oh, God. Jesus.
Before you get to the Holy Spirit, when we first met, we argued all night.
Don't remind me.
We spent the entire night arguing.
You don't have to tell me. I was there.
What did we argue about?
The capitalistic view of modernization and blah, blah, blah. It was one of those conversations you wish you never started.
I was stating that capitalism of America is a good and bad thing, and how the Democrats and Republicans are the extremes of a very pointed circle.
And all I wanted was bean dip.
You were interested.
You were standing in front of the bean dip.
You couldn't take your eyes off.
Bean dip.
So that's why you started to talk to me? Because of some crummy ass bean dip?
You were an attractive girl standing in front of the bean dip. I am not a moron.
You debated with me all night.
I have a talent of defending points and not really believing a thing that I say.
You didn't believe anything you were saying, but you were sounding so convincing.
I really am quite something.
So you were lying.
Devil's advocate is a great stance on any argument.
You were lying.
Yeah, basically.
Liar.
Jessica.
We argued until 3 and you just stood there.
Again, you are hot and I'm not a moron.
Jesus. You probably don't remember anything else about that night.
We ended up on a college soccer field. You were carrying your shoes in your left hand. You had that blue turquoise dress on, looking like you should have been in a Disney parade. You were saying things I knew you were passionate about. So that's why I stayed.
You stayed because you thought you were going to get laid. Your talent is failing you, sweetheart.
But I stayed.
You did, and so did I.
Yes, you did too. Why did you stay?
I'm sorry?
I was making mild points to your passionate side of the argument. Clearly, I was not smart enough to say anything that toppled your argument, and I was in a lower league than yourself. Why did you stay?
You were cute, and I thought I was getting laid.
Hold the phone. Wait a minute. I spent the whole time listening to you, and we didn't even have sex.
No, we didn't.
But we could have.
I wasn't wearing any underwear.
Now she tells me.
I thought you stayed because you liked what I was saying.
I stayed because I wanted to get laid. I didn't even understand what you were saying.
Ah, well.
Do you know how cold of a shower I had to take?
Not my fault.
It's 100% your fault.
Eat your sandwich.
No.
David.
What?
Eat your sandwich.
Why?
Because it's food and it was a very expensive sandwich.
Oh, yes. Let's change the subject, shall we?
And you should eat it before we
Lights go out.
lose power.
I can't find my sandwich.
Told you.
Where's my $9 sandwich?
$13. Jesus.
End of Act 1. Act 2. Lights come up as David enters with Jessica sitting on a couch with her head in her hands.
It has been fixed. I am the master of electricity. Bow down before me. I summon fire from the sky.
Can you be any more of an idiot?
You are just jealous because you cannot summon fire from the sky.
Summon fire from the sky? Who are you, Zeus?
No, I am the master of electricity. I am the sorcerer of fuses.
You are the master of being an idiot.
Do you see me reveling?
What?
Reveling. I am reveling it all.
I can hear it mostly.
I have always been very handy.
In what century?
I fixed your father's TV.
You also broke my mom's table. How do you fix a TV 1 minute and the next break the table it's placed upon? Huh? Answer me that, Mr. Master of Electricity. Summon that answer from the sky.
Hey, something electronic was fixed.
And something made out of wood was broken.
Hey.
You tried to fix it the entire time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my parents' introduction to my boyfriend. The man who can fix a TV but destroy a table in one bound without having eaten anything.
I was trying to be seen as,
Useful? Are you an idiot?
Yes, useful.
Why? Why did you go through that torture? You know what happened. I ended up falling asleep with my parents at the dinner table waiting for you. Why?
Because I was trying to impress you.
I'm sorry?
I was trying to impress you.
You were.
Yes.
How pathetic.
Excuse me?
You pretended to know internal hardware and electronics to try to impress me.
Maybe.
So every time you tried to fix something, you pretended to know what you were doing.
Pretty much.
Didn't you try to fix my sister's pipes?
Yeah?
What happened?
Let's not talk about it.
Why?
Didn't end well.
Why didn't it end well?
Don't worry about it.
What did you do?
Nothing.
What did you do?
I may have, and remember, this was coming from a place of love.
Tell me.
I may have, and here is where I should get points.
What?
I may have flooded her basement.
What?
I may have flooded her basement.
Are you kidding me?
In retrospect, I probably should have called a plumber.
You think?
I'm just saying.
You flooded my sister's basement. Why didn't I hear about this before?
She was sworn to secrecy.
Why didn't I hear about this before?
I am very crafty.
David.
I paid for her discretion. Are you a moron?
What?
I gave her money to fix it correctly. That's why I didn't take you out for our anniversary and why she never called the house and sent you obscene amounts of text messages.
I see.
I mean, I did the right thing.
You flooded my sister's basement, paid her off, and then didn't tell me about it. That's what you did?
Yes.
Well, that makes sense now. I understand.
Oh.
I'm going to drown you in the bathtub and then make a sandwich and watch the new episode of The Bachelor.
Jessica.
How could you have done this to me and kept it from me for this long?
Was it that long?
Excuse me?
I was being sincere.
You were being an ass.
I'm an ass. I'm an ass.
Keep telling yourself until you believe it.
Well, to impress you, am an ass because I was trying to impress you, because I wanted to help out your family member. That makes me an ass.
No.
Good.
It makes you a well-meaning ass.
It's not like you didn't do anything to try to impress me.
I'm sorry, was I supposed to impress you?
No, but...
You have no proof I tried to impress you.
You know what? You're right.
Do you? Do you?
Do I what?
Do you have proof that I tried to impress you?
No. Nope. No fact. No nothing.
David? David, what did my sister tell you?
What?
What did my sister tell you?
Nothing.
David.
Nothing. Oh, by the way, how's that guitar practice going?
Excuse me?
Guitar practice?
What do you mean?
How long have you been playing again?
Since I was in the 5th grade.
That's what I thought you said.
What do you think you know?
Apparently, nothing.
David, I will beat you with a potato gun.
You learned a week after we met?
What? What?
When we met, it was at that bar during open mic night.
Right.
We argued all night afterwards.
Right.
And I said to one of your friends that a sexy thing indeed is a woman with a guitar and some cowboy boots.
Okay.
And that I would enjoy, in a feminist way, to have a girl serenade me with a guitar and some cowboy boots.
Where is this going?
You learned how to play the guitar a week after we met.
I did not.
Jessica?
What?
I know.
What?
You had your sister buy the guitar so it wouldn't be traced back to you. You taught yourself. Then you went to Marshall's and bought brown Taylor Swift cowboy boots. You made it look like you kept forgetting your guitar until 6 months later, and you walk out of the bedroom with nothing but a guitar and some cowboy boots and played 4 of the easiest songs in the world to try to impress me. That, Mrs. Lincoln, is how you did that.
They weren't that easy.
Colonel Mustard in the library with the wrench, motherfucker.
Okay, calm down. How did you?
She told me. I'm not Sherlock. Sherlock
Holmes?
I know his name. Yeah, I'm not Sherlock Holmes. I'm not Columbo asking one last question. I'm not the Thin Man.
That's for sure.
She told me only to show you did like me once, and to tell me that she thought it was weird that you had to her buy it for you, which you haven't paid her back for, by the way.
Well,
You didn't want it traced back to you. What are you, Professor Moriarty?
Well,
Why couldn't you just admit you were trying to impress me?
Well,
why are you so proud? Did your mother inundate you so well that a woman should stand on her own 2 feet and blah, 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 and that you decided that romance meant arguing with a man instead of holding hands in public?
well, why didn't you tell me about the flooding with my sister? You really pretended to know about indoor plumbing? Why didn't you just say, I don't know how to do this. Get someone who can. Why are you so proud and stubborn?
That's different.
I don't see how. You claim I am proud and too proud to admit that I'm wrong, or that I was trying to impress you. Well, how about a man who openly checked out 2 women on our 1st year anniversary and pretended to cough to say nothing of the fact that your idea of complimenting me was telling me my teeth were nice?
Well, they were.
Yeah. I learned something. I never learned before. I actually practiced and practiced. You just pretended. That's the difference, Huckleberry. And again, you are an ass.
I'm surprised we got to a year.
What do you mean?
Well, it sounds like it was such a horrible time.
I didn't say that.
And I'm such an ass.
I never said that.
You didn't. You just called me an ass a bunch of times in a row.
David.
Well, the first date was great, okay, like high on the realm of awesomeness, but until we hit date 5, they kept constantly getting worse. Like every date kept getting worse and worse.
They weren't that. Okay, yes, that first date did put a high expectation for the rest of them.
It was a lot of fun.
Are you kidding? The Museum of Fine Arts is always a trip.
Well, I worked my magic.
What magic?
You remember the exhibit?
Yeah, the Art of Asia.
Yeah?
What?
You love Asia.
Are you kidding? It's a place I have always wished to go.
You know how I was surprised that we timed going there during that exhibit?
Yeah, but so what? They have... You knew!
Well, like a magician, I don't like to explain my tricks to
You fucking knew!
What? I didn't even read the papers in those days.
You motherfucker.
Temper?
I can't believe you.
Jess.
I can't believe...
Did you have fun?
What?
Did you have fun?
Well...
Did you?
That's not the point.
Well, let's make it the point. Let's make it the point that you actually had fun. Let's actually take that into consideration, not just that you're mad and that somewhere in this godforsaken world I wronged you, but let's throw that on the table that you had fun. Fun was had and you had it.
Okay, fine. Yes, I had fun.
Fine.
So what's your point?
My point is, you had fun. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, she had fun.
Yes.
You had fun.
Yes.
She had fun. Fun was had and she had it. There was something fun going on, and it was Jessica who was experiencing it. And how much fun?
Don't push it.
She had tons of fun.
Yes, I had fun. Yes, you won major points with the museum trip and then dinner later. Yes, you did everything you were supposed to do. But at what point did you think you could be a complete douchebag and snowball all of that?
What did I do to you? Did I kill your dog or maim your sister, mutilate your mother?
Why did it take you 4 months to admit you loved me?
That's what this is all about?
Part of it. We'll get to the rest later. Right now, we are here. Why did it take you 4 months to admit you loved me?
I am a cautious person.
Seriously?
Jess.
If you were in love with me, why wasn't I the first person you told? Why did you tell Perry first?
Listen to me.
I don't understand for the life of me why you need probing to admit your feelings.
Listen to me now.
I have been listening, and all I hear is smoke-filled candy-ass bullshit. Why didn't you have the balls to tell me how you felt? Why did your friend tell me how you felt in a text?
Because I was scared.
What?
I was scared.
Why?
Jess, do you have any clue about anything?
Enlighten me, please. I realize my boyfriend of 4 years has no balls.
You don't get it at all. Where on your list of priority does trust come into play? Is it before or after being a bitch? Trust is like high on the list before breathing is even a thought. I believe in trust.
Okay, so you have no balls, but you believe in trust.
No, I'm a person who wants to make sure the girl won't flee the minute the walls come down.
Dave.
Jessica, look at me. Look at me. There's no way in the hell a girl like you chooses a guy like me over every other guy out there. The fact that you said yes to dinner the first time surprised the hell out of me. Believe it or not, I didn't trust my luck. Nor did I actually believe you'd say yes. Yes, it took me 4 months to admit I loved you. Yes, I couldn't even tell you. And so I told my best friend Perry, who, like the tool he is, texted you an hour after he and I hung out. But you want to know something? I knew I loved you on our 4th date. That's the truth. And I trusted you on our 2nd date. I fell in love with you the minute I saw you, but that's not normal. And I was trying to be normal.
You think not telling me when you fell in love with me was normal?
Not the moment I met you.
I wouldn't have been scared, and I don't understand why you were surprised. You were, and still are, cute.
But not normal.
Well, no one is normal. That's the beauty of it. I do have one question, though.
Yes.
You fell in love with me on our 4th date?
Yes.
What was wrong with the first 3? I'm kidding. It took you until the 4th date to fall in love with me.
Jessica.
You fell in love with me on our 4th date.
Yeah.
David, we were in jail.
Yeah. So?
And that was a horrible experience. All I wanted to do was go dancing.
Oh, you mean the Joker's Club?
Yeah, all I wanted was a nice fun night at the club and dance.
Instead, I got a chair to the head.
When?
Right before the riot.
The dude hit you in the head with a chair?
I felt like I was in the WWF. Do you remember what you said when we were in jail?
No.
You said, "I'm not drunk. I don't have a black eye, and I'm not a prostitute, but I'm in jail." Gotta love America. The fact that everything could go wrong did, but that you still had a sense of humor, it showed me who you were. I fell in love that instant.
But you waited.
I was afraid you'd leave, so yes, I have no balls, but I believe in trust.
You know when I fell in love with you?
No.
Remember our 5th date?
The open mic night?
Yeah.
When I actually got up there and sang.
Solo act. No one next to you.
Yeah.
You were so cute, thinking you could sing.
I can sing.
That's cute.
No, I can sing.
Less cute now.
I took singing lessons.
On purpose?
3 years I took singing lessons. It took 3 years for me to learn how to sing.
Wow. 3 wasted years, huh?
Hey.
And you were yelling at me about the price of a sandwich, and you paid for singing lessons? You didn't pay for singing lessons? You got free singing lessons for 3 years?
My grandma taught me.
Nana Darlene?
Yes, Nana Darling. She gave me singing lessons.
Nana Darlene gave you singing lessons.
Yes.
David?
Yes.
The woman is deaf.
No, she isn't.
Physically deaf and tone deaf.
No, she isn't.
She heard Pavarotti sing and thought he was too sharp.
Well, maybe he was.
He's an accomplished opera singer. The man runs rings around Justin Bieber and all 3 of the Jonas Brothers.
What's your point?
She gave you singing lessons, and so you think you are a good singer?
I am.
David, just because a person is taught to sing doesn't mean they should look at Broadway.
Yes, it does.
That's like a guy who was taught how to hold a hammer thinking he can build a whole fucking house.
Well, whatever. I can sing. And maybe that guy can build a house if only someone encouraged him.
I do encourage you when the situation calls for encouraging.
You always shoot my ideas down, my great ideas.
David, you wanted to be an astronaut once.
Yes.
Do you realize how long it takes to train for something like that?
All I needed was Google.
All you needed was a clue.
There you go, bringing me down.
Listen, I was a good girlfriend. I treated you nice, and wonderful. And yeah, maybe I didn't go for all of your crazy ideas, but I was still there for you. Shaking my head, but still there for you.
And it all began on that night at the open mic night when I sang my heart out to you.
Off key, yes.
Fine, whatever.
Well, I thought you were cute, and I fell for you.
I bet you thought I was cute at our 2-year anniversary.
Hold on, I have to tell you something about our first year.
What's that?
It was fun. I loved getting to know you, getting to know your friends, and that was fun.
My family?
Yeah, getting to know your family as well.
Well, if only our families could cohabitate.
Our families got along fine.
Your father hated me. Your mother thought I was one of the Doobie Brothers.
Well, your mother thought I was too athletic, and your father thought I was too fat.
He did not.
He called me chubby.
And what did you call him?
Baldy.
Was that nice?
Nicer than calling someone chubby.
Well, your cousins found me absolutely repulsive.
Wait, my cousins?
Harold and Jen?
Harold and Jen?
Yes, Harold and Jen.
Harold and Jen thought you were repulsive.
Yes.
Do you mean Heidi and James?
What?
Harold and Jen have been dead for 10 years. Heidi and James like you fine, but you were being sarcastic with them when they were talking about having their baby.
They kept saying, we are having a baby. We are pregnant.
So?
He is not pregnant. She is pregnant. He just gets 2 months of paid time off because of it.
They were excited.
They were also being stupid.
Well, at least their kids don't steal things.
What do you mean?
I mean your cousin, Phil. Philip? He stole my pens all the time.
He wanted to be a writer.
He was stabbing me in the leg with them.
He was trying to be funny.
I bled twice.
He was just being cute.
Like you were?
Right.
And how were you cute during our second year?
Who gave you a romantic carriage ride in the park?
The carriage ride in the park?
Yes, the carriage ride in the park.
You mean the one where we witnessed a mugging and had to call the cops and then explain what we saw? That carriage ride in the park?
I may be remembering it different.
You think?
It was still romantic.
It was very romantic.
See?
Apart from the mugging in the park and the cops, it was very romantic.
See, I did some cute things from time to time.
Yes, like how you got drunk and told everyone that you wanted to get me pregnant using a dildo.
I did not.
I have it on video.
Oh, well.
It's on YouTube.
How many hits?
How crazy are you?
How cute am I?
You were very, very cute. And I loved you.
And at what point did you stop?
What?
At what point did you stop?
At what point did I stop what?
Thinking I was cute and falling for me.
You asshole.
What?
You are a fucking asshole.
What?
I never stopped loving you.
Yeah, right.
Is this what this is all about? What makes you think I changed my mind about you at all?
What about the guy you were all cozy with?
What guy?
The guy at the bar.
The guy at the bar?
Yes, 3 years into our relationship, we go to a bar, and you were all over that guy at the bar.
The guy at the bar.
The guy at the bar.
I was all over the guy at the bar. Okay. That was my nephew, mouth breather.
That was what?
That was my nephew. He just turned 21. I hadn't seen him in years, so of course I was all over him. Is that why you gave me the silent treatment all night?
No.
You fucking horse's dick.
How the fuck was I supposed to know that?
He was at my sister's wedding, the one we went to in our second year, dickweed.
Wait, really? He had short hair.
No shit, Sherlock. His parents made him cut it off because he got into ROTC.
It does make sense.
Yeah. And what about you and the blonde?
The blonde?
The blonde.
The blonde was after the guy at the bar. I wanted revenge.
You wanted revenge.
Yes, I wanted revenge.
How fucking petty are you?
The best in Boston, baby.
This is serious.
Yes.
What alternative dimension were you living in? So that's why a year after that you stayed around? That makes no sense. Why didn't we break up?
Well, I spent the rest of the time trying to figure out if you still loved me.
For a year? Couldn't the times when I said I loved you give you a fucking hint about where I was?
I'm not a mind reader.
Who are you?
Love did something to me.
Made you stupid?
Hey, I've called you a lot of things, and you've called me a lot of things, but don't you dare ever call me stupid. That's just hurtful. I was so afraid you'd wake up one day and realize I was crazy, and on that day you would decide that you had enough and you'd pack up and leave. I was just delaying the inevitable.
David, that was every day for a year. I always knew you were crazy, but I loved you for it. I looked at you every day and thanked God I had you. I spent most of the time wondering why you were with me. Did I ever stop loving you? Never. Not once. Not even the days you were a douche.
I was never a douche.
Oh, Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day, you could be a real douche.
Just because I locked myself in a room, and
you wouldn't even come out to pee. You went all Howard Hughes and pissed in mason jars, which, by the way, the cat drank out of.
That sounds like a personal problem.
No. You know what a person problem was? While you were away in the room with tissue boxes on your feet, I had to go out and treat myself and then clean up after the fucking cat.
Okay, I could be a little bit of a douche.
A little bit.
Okay, a lot. Jesus. I can only imagine it getting worse if we got married.
What?
I said I can only imagine it getting worse if I asked you to marry me.
Did you?
What?
Did you want to marry me?
Of course.
Why didn't you want to ask me?
I did. I just didn't think you'd say yes. That's why I never asked. And then, well, big things became small things, and small things became big things.
You wanted to ask me to marry you?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So why did we break up?
You hated me.
What?
You hated me.
I didn't hate you.
You left.
You were supposed to stop me.
I couldn't.
Why?
Because after spending 4 years of you calling me every name in the book, I realized that maybe you were right.
What?
When you called me every name in the...
When did I do that?
all the time.
I never called you anything but silly, stupid.
Yes, you have.
Name one time I called you anything worse than stupid.
You want me to name one time you called me a bad name?
Yes.
Okay. Let me take a moment and think about that to see if I could remember. You've been doing it this whole time.
What?
You've been calling me every name in the book ever since we got stuck in this hotel room.
Oh. I didn't realize.
You have.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my.
So, I figured you were right.
What do you mean?
I have a big ego, and with that, sometimes you don't see who you really are. I'm a douche. I'm a dick. I'm a dickweed in the rocks on Turd Mountain. I'm a no-good son of a bitch. You called me that a lot after hearing it. All the time I realized you were right.
You did?
Yeah, so I let you go. And I sold the apartment and moved away because I felt like I couldn't have failed any worse than when I failed with you. To stay there would have been just a constant reminder of what I fucked up.
Really? That's why when I went back, you weren't there?
You went back?
Yeah. 3 days later. I wanted to talk it out and fix it.
2 days after you left, I left.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's my secret.
I didn't know I called you all those names all the time.
That's not a secret.
I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry I never realized how mean that I could be. I was just being snarky and playful.
Well, it was some of the time, but other times, like tonight, it's hurtful.
I am sorry, David.
Thank you. I even got the ring.
What?
I had bought a ring.
David pulls out a ring and shows it to Jessica.
You had it on you this whole time?
Well, I don't have a safety deposit box.
Wow. Well, if you were to ask a woman to marry you, that's the ring to get her. You want to know something?
What?
I would have said yes if you asked me to marry you.
What?
I would have said yes.
You would have?
David, I loved you. My mind was filled with nothing but David. You were all I could think about. Every day I got through my work so quickly because I wanted to get home and snuggle up next to you. I wanted to stand on an altar and vow myself to you. I wanted to set up a house with you and live the rest of my life as your wife. I wanted to bear your children and name something we chose together. I wanted to see children grow up with both of us there to be a parent. I wanted to then grow old with you. I wanted to hold you close for the rest of my life, knowing that when I said yes to you wanting to marry me, that I could not have made a better decision. That is my secret.
Wow.
David, I really miss you.
You do?
Before tonight, yes, I think about you often.
Well, I miss you too. And I thought about you a lot as well.
David,
Yes?
do you still love me?
I do. I always will. You were my first love.
I will always love you too, for better or worse, for richer or poor, for sickness and health, to death do us part. You are my first as well.
Wow. It would have been a nice wedding.
Damn Skippy, and I would have looked hot in a wedding dress.
Yeah, you would have.
Damn hot.
I can only imagine how many dresses it would have taken for you to choose the right one.
Oh, shut up. You would have loved every minute.
I would have loved to argue about the type of invitations. Not only the type, but the paper that the invitations came on, and the lettering on the invitations, and then the envelopes of the invitations.
Oh, you would have complained the whole time about random shit, but you would have liked the food.
Oh, hell yeah. I would have gone all Jurassic Park on that and spared no expense.
Would you have written your own vows?
I would have written both of ours.
What makes you think I would have said the same things?
Okay, I would have written them, and then you would have rewritten them.
Very true.
Your mother would have cried.
Yes, she would have.
I can hear her crying now. Don't do it. Run away.
Yeah, you're probably right. But she didn't know you like I did.
Well, she is the one who had the voodoo doll.
Yeah. Storm's letting up.
Well, let's go down to the lobby and check out the damage.
Oh, you don't want to stay up here?
No, there might be some interesting damage down there.
It's all cleaned up now. No more debris.
Well, maybe there's a transformer or something.
You going to save my life again? Don't answer that.
I mean, we can head out now.
Yeah.
So, Jess, good to see you.
David, you know, I don't have to be back home until Monday. We could get the room for another night or so.
Really? You aren't sick of me?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
Maybe we can start again where we left off.
You're not done with me?
I don't think so.
Wow.
I mean, if you want to leave, that's fine. I just thought...
I didn't say that. I was just looking for the right
answer?
Moment.
Jessica extends her hand to David as David takes her hand, and they move close to each other. Jessica puts her arms around David as David puts his arms around her waist.
Can I see that ring again?
Sure.
David pulls it out and gets on his knee and looks up to her and hands it to her. She nods her head in the affirmative, and he gets up and wraps his arms around her. They look at each other as they lean into... The lights go down quickly and then come up to David waking up in a bed.
My boot.
David's wife wakes up with him.
Honey, are you okay?
Lights come up to another bed with Jessica waking up in it.
Oh my goodness, where am I?
Jessica's husband wakes up next to her.
Babe, you need some water.
Yeah. I'm okay.
No, I'm good. Just
a
a
dream.
dream.
Red one?
What was it about?
Someone I knew a long time ago.
Someone I knew a long time ago. Wait, can I get some water?
Actually, some water would be nice.
The spouses leave. The lights go down with a single spotlight on Jessica and David. They each reach down to the nightstand and pick up their phones. They begin to dial, but stop themselves. They look towards the direction of each other.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The lights go down. The end.
Hey, y'all, turn on your videos and let's give the actors a round of applause. Because Zoom does weird things to audio.
Great job, guys.
Oh, so sweet. Gosh.
Yeah.
It was so funny and so touching. Mm.
So Matt, if for everyone who doesn't know, which I guess just would be you, Laura, is our
Right.
playwright, of course, and Monica is our director. And if the cast would like to introduce themselves and just say in general where you're from.
I'm Tammy Peters. I'm in Virginia right now, and I play Jessica.
Bryan, West Palm Beach, Florida. I play Malcolm/Jessica's husband. I did have a name. Came from somewhere. I think I saw it at some point.
Cast notes.
I'm Ricardo Padilla. I play David, and I'm from Virginia also.
I'm Elizabeth Rossen, and I'm here in Gainesville, Florida.
And Zach?
Zach, you're on mute.
Yep. I'm Zach Hanna, and I'm from Sarasota, Florida, and I read the stage directions.
And you did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
So Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about the genesis of this particular project?
So, as you can tell, I'm a student of Aaron Sorkin and Mamet, as AJ likes to always tell me. And it is true.
Neil Simon too.
Yeah, a little bit of Neil Simon and Moss Hart and George S. Kaufman. I was trying to figure out an idea to have a married couple or a not married couple in a room deconstructing their entire relationship, which has been in my head for the last, I don't know, 5 years, maybe 7 years. And I hit on an idea. I actually had this dream of like, not to this extent, but like talking to an ex in my dreams or whatever. It was right around the time that I was just about to get married. So I was like, oh, this would be interesting. And so I started writing it. And maybe a year afterwards, I actually started to talk to this ex. And she's married, I'm married, and we're actually all friends. It's really weird. My wife thinks it's kind of weird, but it's really interesting. And it kind of ended up informing it, as well as a couple other situations that happened. And some of it is true to life, some of it is not. Some of it is based on stories that I had heard from other people who had much more exciting relationships and experiences than I did prior to my wife now. But yeah, so, and then it was just throwing everything together. And then the idea of always that it was going to end with that kind of M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end, that they're married and that it was all a dream, kind of was always in my head. And it was just a matter of making that work so it didn't just seem like a cliche or like a cop-out at the end, like I was like fooling it. And actually, funny enough, I just remembered originally in the script, David talks to his mother on the phone at the beginning instead of the hotel clerk. And during development, I started realizing, well, if he's talking to his mom would call him more often. We only hear about her once. So that would make no sense. And it would end up having to create another character. And funny enough, it actually did make it into a different play I wrote where the mother is codependent on the character, but that's another talk back. But yeah, it kind of came up with that. Then in terms of, it was really funny because the way Jess was written originally was a lot more of a, I can swear on this, a lot more of a bitch. Like she does the whole, oh, I was being teasing and all that kind of stuff. She called him worse things in the original drafts, not even the version that Monica and AJ saw, but even beyond that, like, so it was a matter of enjoying making her loving and a great character, and not just coming off that way, which I never saw, but other people were like, no, it's coming off a little bit bitchy. So, and then making David not seem like he's henpecked, and that he actually has like opinions and things, and not just letting it go, which was actually kind of based on my best friend, who now has opinions because he's since been married. So now he's like, oh, I have to have opinions. So just that's kind of the genesis, I think, in a nutshell.
It starts with a wedding. You have to have opinions on things you never thought you would have to have opinions on. You know, table linen, for example.
Invitations. That actually really happened. Invitations and all that shit.
It is a very touching and realistic romance between the two main characters. They're desperately flawed, but they're flawed in a way together that makes them sort of endearing. They're both coming into it with a certain amount of, I'm going to deceive you. I don't actually play the guitar, but I'm going to learn. You know, I don't sing, but I'm going to get up and do it anyway. And it kind of shows a deep vulnerability that we don't get in a lot of characters. Was that really important for you to put into the script?
Very much so. The idea was always that, well, first of all, this was a first love. This was like the first thing. So both of them are doing things they think they are supposed to do. They're supposed to impress the other person. They're supposed to have these ridiculous, idiosyncratic arguments. I mean, we could quote Company all night and it would still mean the same thing. And so it's meant to have that kind of element of, we kind of understand what's going on, but we've never been in this relationship, a real relationship before, and we're jumping off the diving board. And they make every mistake that like people who have never done it before make, and that's what makes their love that much more interesting. And the reason why, because obviously at the end they pick up the phone, and what it's supposed to symbolize, it's them growing up. This was their first love, and I mean, if you're lucky enough to marry your first love and still be with them, good on you. But most, unfortunately, people don't, and that's because a lot of us have it when we're young. So it's meant to be a coming of age, growing up story where they are able to have closure, finally put that aside. And it's always the idea of looking at the past, but now they're able to look at the past and not burn their eyes, like look too close to the sun. Like they can just look at it gradually and say, that was fun. Look at the good times. This was dissecting and creating closure in such a way that they could put that chapter away and now move on and be fully committed to their spouses, although they've already been committed with the marriage and what have you. But this is like full on, which sometimes doesn't happen. The coming of age, the growing up element of it. Sometimes you just get married because it's you're wrapped up and you're in love and everything happens, and you don't realize what baggage you have in the past and what kind of abandonment issues you have. So that's what this was supposed to touch on, basically.
Interesting. Monica, what kind of challenges did you find with the script?
One of the things that I find interesting in the script is sort of where each of the characters they've kind of got these adverse arcs where they each see this moment from a different lens. And so for me, one of the things that was very important in the script was finding the ways that each of them relate to those moments, and then the moments of like realization in that. One of the, like, I really like in the second act, those moments of, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. As they really, it makes them see these moments in their relationship differently, and that sort of informs the arc as they go through. So they kind of have this like, these sort of inverse waves that are interweaving back and forth through the play. And that, I think, is really, was the challenge in directing this, was finding those moments.
I see the second act very much as a card game where each one of them are playing higher and higher stakes Oh, so you thought this was, oh, no. I have this card to play and I have this card to play. And this is their romance. This is their foreplay. Um, I'm going to one up you. And it could be incredibly exciting.
It was it's very close to card games. It was actually like strip poker. Because it's supposed to lead to the ultimate, like they actually the ring is like the penny drop moment in it, that he actually bought the ring. That's kind of like the fun moment.
That's the moment we sort of figure out that maybe this isn't real life, because no guy would carry a ring around in a box for years and years and years afterwards. And that's the moment, oh, wait a minute, maybe not. Tammy, what did you like about this character?
It was a challenge for me because I am not like her. So I had to draw, I mean, in terms of like, she was pretty belligerent. I mean, she did it lovingly sometimes, but sometimes not so much. And yeah, I think just finding that line in terms of, where she's being mean, and obviously she doesn't realize how mean she's being. To have that, and then at the same time she's like mad at him, but she's in love with him, but she's mad at him because she wants to still be in love with him, and he didn't let her know that, whatever. So it's kind of like this, I'm mad at you because I love you kind of thing. And so I mean, it was interesting to get into her head a little bit and just try to play off of him.
So, Ricardo, now that you're our main, heartthrob, the RomCom guy, that our go-to RomCom guy, how do you think? How would you say average guys sort of feel the way this guy feels? I mean, it sounds like something I've heard from men before.
I think totally. I mean, it's just I'm not anything like this guy, but I totally relate to him. I mean, he just was happy 1 second, laughing and blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly like, oh, you really put me down. I mean, hot and cold with his emotions. I mean, it just like, I didn't feel like I even had to act. I just had to, I mean, I was like, damn, David, this was, this happened to me, but it didn't really happen to me, sort of thing. So I just, I like characters like that. And then this David guy, he's so put upon. He's put upon David, and it's all basically, a lot of it is his fault. He just wasn't a communicator. So, and then he was put down all the time and never said, I didn't like it. So so Matthew, good job on David. I mean, it really is. I think he's like a lot of guys. So, a little bit of you, a little bit of me, but then all these things put in on one guy. Come on, Matthew, a little too much maybe.
The line that he had that I thought was just about perfect when he said, I can't believe a girl like you would go out with a guy like me. I have heard that from men over and over when they talk about their wives. They're like, what in the world? Why would she like me? And I always say that's the sign of a very good marriage.
Like, I married up. That's what you hear. I married up, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
My brother-in-law always says to me, men marry up, women marry down.
Not really. We don't really marry down. We marry security.
Consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it also has to do with like, what we're attracted to, right? You're not attracted to yourself. You're attracted to someone, like somebody else. And that just happened, so I think that this idea of a number system and up and down, that, I think that one of the things that's beautiful about the, when they're talking about that first night and the early parts of their relationship as they're getting to know each other, it's, she has moments where she's like, I thought you were cute. I thought you were adorable. And he's like, and you were just gorgeous. So like, of course I was going to stay. And she's like, I was here for the same reasons you were here. Like, I think that I think is one of those things that in relationships, you kind of have those blinders where you can see the other person, but you can't see yourself. And in this relationship, both of them have that. And I think that that kind of gives us, I think, a clue of what their relationship was at its best, since we also see a lot of what that relationship was at its worst, in this play. So, yeah.
I thought it was interesting in terms of Jessica that, she spends the whole play, putting him down for this or that and criticizing him for this and that. But at the end, you find out that she fell in love with him because he couldn't sing. It was a fault with him that she ended up falling in love with him for. So and maybe that's part of why she didn't realize how mean she was, because she found it endearing in her own way. Like, so in her mind, it's like, yes, I'm insulting you, but I love you because, and she even says, like, you're crazy, but I love that about you. So that's, it's sort of interesting that it's like, but it definitely comes out as sounding very critical and very mean, but in her head, that's what I love.
And I think the insults and the sarcasm is, it's a defense mechanism, and it even comes out more after the fact. And like I'll touch on what Monica said. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but you don't know I guess you do know what you're going through, but to see it through another lens, like Monica said, is very interesting. And Matt, I think the home run here is like, and Ricardo, you mentioned it, is that every guy, but everybody has the one that got away, I think. Or, they at least think back and go, what if? And it's it relates to everybody, which is awesome.
Well, I want to say what a great job, everybody, and I'm super excited to see this play and see the reaction that people are going to give it. And a special thanks to Zach for doing such a great job in the stage direction.
Yep.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, thank you so much.